time. Wonderful, wonderful. We are starting with this recording and also live stream. We're about to go live stream on Facebook here because this is our free 3-day challenge on hard coherence. So welcome everyone here. Welcome Antonio, Alejandra, welcome Christine, and welcome everyone who is already watching this video. I'm very, very, very excited for all of these wonderful souls who are showing up here. Let me tell you that this is breathing technique that helps people already overcome anxiety, stress, and depression. And last week, and this is the good news that I wanted to share with you all, this is not just a wonderful technique that will help you feel wonderful or okay, or it is not scientifically validated. The good news is that we started to test this breathing technique just 5 to 10 minutes per day. That's all that we have to do. Instead of taking pills and antidepressants or pills for anxiety and depression, I even saw that some football players, after losing so many finals in a row, they started to take pills in order to go to sleep. They don't need that. And this is terrible because in many cases it becomes a kind of addiction. So how can we solve that? Through the right breathing pattern. And this is what we're going to talk about today. And this technique is the one that is the most powerful that exists nowadays. You have the privilege, and I have the privilege to share this with you all, because this is the most powerful breathing, conscious breathing technique. Why? Because it is scientifically validated, and this is what we are already talking to in other institutions, in other universities. I'm not talking about a group of people who are already testing this. I'm talking about an institution that is already willing to support us, because this is a very, very powerful technique that it works in a similar way as mindfulness. So many people talk about mindfulness meditation, and yes, I tried this mindfulness meditation, that's wonderful. But according to scientific studies, there is another technique, which is breathwork. The right breathwork is more efficient than mindfulness meditation in order to reduce the levels of anxiety and stress. So this is according to other scientific studies. So in the same way that happens with mindfulness, I mean, its origin, it's over 1,000 years, over 2,000 years ago, actually. It is a kind of meditation, right? So we all know that it is a very powerful meditation. And we all know that it has been rebaptized actually with this modern name, which is mindfulness. But actually, the technique is very, very, very old. Similarly, this is what happens with this breathing technique, which is called hard coherence. This is a new name of something that has been developed for thousands of years. So this is the news that I wanted to share with you. And also that this methodology has an evolution in time. And we are in the last part of this evolution. And this is what I want to share with you all. So let me share with you this breathing, these slides, okay? I will share with you these slides. But before sharing these slides, write in a word or just one phrase how you are feeling now at this very moment. Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling curious? Are you feeling a little bit sad or expectant? What's your feeling right now at this very moment? Write one word that represents how you feel. Let's see in the group chat what it comes here. Antonia, Alejandra, Christine, Petra. So how are you feeling right now, this very moment? Before getting into the calm, excited, wonderful, 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 anxious. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I actually anxious, right? Anxious in this. Well, of course, there are many kinds of anxiety, but one kind of anxiety is say, oh, I'm anxious to see what's coming next. This is a very good anxiety, but there's another kind of anxiety which is, oh, this is worrying me very much, so it's keeping me anxious. Of course, that's not good for our autonomic nervous system. Then let me get into details about that. So I will share the slides with you here. So welcome to this 3-day challenge on heart coherence. As you say, this is my name. So you see my name, Fernando Marengo Rodriguez. I earned the Doctor of Engineering degree in 2008 in record time. So it's been a long time ago, and I'm fortunate enough to have earned this degree because it gives me the right background, scientific background, to justify this new holistic tool. This is extremely powerful and extremely difficult to find. I would like to know other doctors of engineering or PhD who have already worked in the holistic side. So I would like to get in touch with other people like this. Unfortunately, I haven't met not even a single one so far. So just a little bit of my background. I've studied the electronic of engineering. I earned the electronic engineering degree in 2005, and then in just 2 years and a half, 2008, I earned the Doctor of Engineering degree. And I've been working in this signal processing field, which is some kind of, when you see the electrocardiogram or electroencephalogram, I just manipulate the signals and interpret and get the right information coming from those signals. That's what I've been doing for over 15, 18 years. Then I started working for companies in the US for biofeedback purposes, and that's when I discovered what biofeedback is. Then I will share more details about this. And finally, I got into the holistic side, and I connected with this amazing work. First, the left side of the brain, the left hemisphere, the rational mind, right? With the engineering and scientific background. Then I developed the other hemisphere of the brain, which is the intuitive and creative part. And that's the most powerful thing. Now we're going to introduce you this methodology that is a conjunction of these two sides, the logical and the scientific and the creative and intuitive side. And this converges into a method that takes only 10 minutes of daily practice. 10 minutes, and it's the most efficient technique. Then you will see a little bit about that. So just a little bit of background. According to the World Health Organization, there's over 1 billion people having different kind of mental disorders. Anxiety and depression are the most common. We all know that. And in 2018, 2.3 billion people were affected by stress, worry, or anger. And the rates of depression and anxiety increased by 25% in 2021. And all know that what happened during the pandemics. So collective fear was affecting a lot of people, and there was little social interactions, and the level of energy in most people already decreased. This is really terrible news. And what happens in extreme cases? And this is the terrible things, because many of these issues are already happening in silence. Maybe some of us know some of those people that are suffering from this, from stress, anxiety, and depression. Stress can lead to violent behavior, anxiety can lead to incapacitation, and severe depression can lead to suicide, of course. So we have to learn how to manage our emotions, and we have to build emotional management. So how can we do that? In order to do this, there is a very powerful methodology that, of course, there are many ways to do this, but there's a very powerful methodology, which is the right breathing pattern. So before getting into this, our autonomic nervous system has two components: the sympathetic nervous system, associated with the fight or flight response, and the parasympathetic nervous system, associated with the rest and digest mode. So what happens in our day-to-day life? We have our sympathetic nervous system overexcited. That's why we are stressed so much. And the sympathetic nervous system is a little bit forgotten. That's why we have so many problems in going to sleep, so many problems in even in digestion mode. So that happens because our parasympathetic nervous system is not properly activated. So if we happen to find a way to bring those components into balance, the levels of stress, anxiety, and depression are reduced significantly. And this is according to scientific studies. So there is a very efficient way to do this. And the way to do that is by breathing at the right pace, which is roughly inhaling for 5 seconds and exhaling for 5 seconds. Let's do a short test and see how it works. Just follow my instructions and inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 5 seconds. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. How are you feeling now? Please share in the comments below one word that represents how you are feeling. Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling calm? How are you feeling? See in the chat. That's good means. Does it mean calmer? Oh, wonderful. Calm. Wonderful. Yes, that's the thing, to feel calm. You just perform 2 conscious breathing cycles. Only 2. We breathe for many cycles during the day, for thousands of cycles during the day. So when was the last time we performed conscious breathing? Conscious breathing. So this is the graphic that shows when we breathe, as it says here, when we breathe at the frequency situation, we breathe quite like, I'm exaggerating a little bit, right? So what happens when we breathe fast? And this is what, there's a label, say frequency situation, right? It happens that we are anxious or we are stressed or maybe we are depressed as well. It happens, it may happen in any of these cases. When we start to breathe slowly and deeply, this is what when we get closer to the resonance frequency. Then we will see a little bit about that. Resonance frequency. So, and that's the situation in which our autonomic nervous system gets a little bit better, more balanced. So when we breathe properly, our heart rate and breathing synchronize. I mean, when we inhale, our heart rate increases. And when we exhale, the heart rate decreases. And the components of the autonomic nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic, I mean fight or flight and rest and digest mode, they get into balance. And then what happens is that if we do this for 10 minutes per day, we can face any external situation without feeling overwhelmed. That's the great advantage of this. This is like a workout for our autonomic nervous system. Why does it work this way? Because when something external happens, a stressor comes up, for instance, there's a call or something, someone calls us and we have to respond, our heart rate has to increase significantly in order to be able to respond to that stimulus. If we performed conscious breath, we trained our heart to accelerate when we inhale and decelerate when we exhale. And because of this workout, we can respond to external stressor much easier. Now you see, it's very, very, very simple. That's why it is like a workout, because we train our heart to pump faster and then slower, faster and then slower. And when a stressor comes up, our heart has to pump faster, and we are already trained for that. That's why it works so efficiently. This is the main reason why it works. Of course, another benefits, we gain calm and self-awareness, we can take better decisions because we are not emotionally overwhelmed. We are much more centered, emotionally centered, right? And it's very important to know the resonance frequency is very unique for each person. For some people, is inhaling for 5 seconds and exhaling for 5 seconds. For other people, is inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 7. For other people, is inhaling for 6, exhaling for 8. It all depends on each one. It's very unique for each one. Actually, it is associated with the concentration of hemoglobin in our body. And in order to detect and train this resonance frequency, we need a biofeedback system. First, this training, this challenge is very useful. We get a hint of that. But if we get fine-tuned with that, we need a biofeedback system that we have here, the ENSA biofeedback system. So this is what I was talking to you about. When we start breathing at the resonance frequency, I mean, the breathing is the black line, right? When we inhale and then we exhale. When we inhale at the resonance frequency, the heart rate goes up. And when we exhale, the heart rate goes down. And so on and so forth. Right? Anyone can do this kind of training. And anyone can learn this technique and teach this technique to others. This method is as simple as powerful. Only 5 weekly sessions is enough to train another person to breathe properly. So let me share with you a story. There's a client that came to me 1 year and 2 months ago, and she was locked in her house. She didn't know what to do in order to have a normal life. She wasn't able to leave her own bedroom. And I told her, okay, let's do the session. We did finally the 1 session, she loved it. And then we finished the 5 weekly sessions. She felt like falling in love with life. Then she started she recovered the normal life, and she started to travel to other countries in cruises. Not only she left her house, but she also went for cruises. So you see a powerful story from a person who already overcame a terrible situation with only this technique that you are going to try right now. So this is another scientific result of a study that was performed in health professionals. So we all know that health professionals are very stressed because of their obligations. So they tried this technology, that is performing the optimal breathing rate with another biofeedback device, and for just 4 weeks, the protocol that I'm telling you about, in just 4 weeks, the levels of stress decreased, as well as the levels of anxiety and depression. So this is according to white papers, to first-class research papers. I'm not just talking about someone who did that, and this is about trustworthy first-class papers, okay? So what happened, let me show you here. Okay, so in just a few words, there are 3 main lines of heart coherence methodologies, 3 lines of research. The first line includes only mechanical breathing, as I told you already. Okay, inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. That's totally fine. And you did that. And this is very good for those who use a visual pacer, okay? They just see a bar going up and then a bar goes down. It helps to detect when we inhale and when we exhale. That's the main methodology that was created in this field. So, of course, it's only a mechanical method, and it may seem a little bit not exciting, right? That's why there was another methodology that was created afterwards, which includes intentional generation of regenerative feelings. And this is a methodology that was created by the institute, by the Heart Math Institute. So not only they started to breathe slowly and deeply, but also they started to intentionally produce regenerative feelings such as love, joy, grace, gratitude, and compassion, right? We are going to do this test in a few moments from now. And then what happened? There's another methodology, and this is the one that we created here, that it is the first, we have the hardware, the ENSA biofeedback system, which consists of a hardware and a software, which is a game. Then I will show you later. But this methodology, we created a methodology that includes not only breathing at the right pace and cultivate regenerative feelings, but also, and this is the great news, we introduce ancestral tools, including a rhythmical reference. Why a rhythmical reference? Because some people are more auditive driven, right? Some people, they do need some kind of auditory stimulus. For instance, I love music and I love listening to different stimulus. That's why I play the drum. I play the music, I play the drum. And once I started to play the drum, the effects happen so much faster, so easier, and in an enjoyable way that people, they do fall in love. And they say, oh, yes, can I get more a little bit, please? Right? So this is what happens. So we tested this methodology in over 100 people, and the success rate for those people who take action is 100%. There's no one single complaint about, oh, I don't do this, I don't like this, it's not worth for me, it doesn't make sense. It works always, always, because controlling the breath is very, very easy. So just before getting into this, how are you feeling with this? Would you like to test it on your own? Would you like to feel a little bit how it works? What's your thoughts about this? I would like to see what's your thoughts about this. Would you like to test it and to see it in action? What would you like to see about this? See what people share here. Okay. Oh, hello, Jessica. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. Welcome, Jess. I'm very, very happy for your presence here as well. I'm very, very happy for you. So you just arrived at the right moment in order to test this methodology, okay? So let's try, let's try. Wonderful, wonderful. I love this. I will love this. So this is our system, the ENSA biofeedback system, the hardware and the cables that connect to the computer. And then it has the software here. We can test it tomorrow if you want. And this is the game, the Mario Bros, who is already walking here. And we have to measure the state of peace. That's all we have to measure, the state of peace. And this is the breath pacer. Inhale when it goes up and exhale when we go down. So what we are going to do here, and this is the we're going to do. Since everyone is already very curious to know how it feels like, let me check the following. We are going to stop share. Are you ready to enjoy this wonderful sensation? How are you feeling right now? Are you ready? Are you Just willing to test, to try? Are you ready to feel at peace? How are you feeling now? Alexandra, Yvonne, Petra. Okay, I will give you 3 more seconds and we are going to start at the count of 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can now sit comfortably with your head aligned with your column and just be at ease and feel free to close your eyes. And then you can start inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. And then if you want to exhale a little bit longer, that's totally fine. Now we can start inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue. You can place your hand on your chest gently, softly, and remember a moment of great joy or happiness or gratitude. And pay attention to the feelings. And you can extend this feeling in every breath you take for every single cell of your body. Extend this wonderful sensation to your whole chest, to your abdomen, to your arms and hands, to your legs and feet. And then extend this wonderful sensation to your neck and to your head. Shana suna hana saina shuna sana sina saina hanana suna shina saina sana huna sana saina nana suna shana suna sana saina sana hana suna shina sana nana suna sanana hana suna shina saina sana hana suna shina sana nana suna shina saina hana suna shina sana hana huna suna shina sana hana sana saina huna sina hana suna shina sana now you can extend this sensation, this wonderful sensation, to any situation that needs to be solved or to any person you really care for. Feel free to send this wonderful energy that you cultivated in yourself to that problem or that person you care for. Because we came here of love, from love, and we are cultivating love, the most powerful force that we have within. Once you already decided to do this, you can feel the wonderful sensation in your chest. Take 3 deep breaths and then slowly you can come back here. Feel free to share, please, in the written chat, or if you want to speak up, that's totally fine. How you are feeling right now. Alejandra, Christine, Petra, are you fine? Exactly, Christine, exactly. So I will share below what happened to another person who had a similar sensation. To be here, feel calmness, calmness. Yes, 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 yes. Me too, me too, me too, me too. So yes, there's a wonderful sensation. Petra, are you feeling okay? Alejandra, are you feeling right? Are you feeling all right? Just to make sure if you're okay. Good. What is good? Please be more specific because this is very important to know. Feeling calmer or equal or at peace or presence. Ah, exactly. So we can perform a longer practice with it for just 6 minutes, okay? We can perform a practice for 10 minutes in order to feel this. But of course, we cannot ask to feel already at peace in just a few minutes. This is a process. This is a process. If we perform this consistently, then we're going to feel the benefits consistently. Okay? Uh, Hermoso. That's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. I also felt like I was in some kind of spiritual indigenous tribe. So that's very wonderful. Thank you for sharing this. So I will share with you here, just to to finish this. I will share with you here. This is the system that we have in order to adjust in a very just with fine tune our system. This is the ENSA biofeedback system. We have the hardware and we have the cables that connects gets the data with an optical sensor, which is the optical sensor is this one. We just connect with an ear clip, and then it connects to the computer. And in the computer, we just put play to this game. In another video, I will share with you how this game works. Okay, just to keep the time already respected for everyone. And this is the breath pacer. And that's all we have to look for. We have to look for the breath pacer, okay? And as a result, we can measure the state of peace in this number here. This can fly. The higher you fly, the higher the state of peace. So what is biofeedback? Biofeedback is just focusing on the Mario Bros already flying as high as possible. It means that you are focusing in being as calm as possible. This is the game. The game is to fly as high as possible, which means getting as calm as possible. And this is the game that anyone can use. It is very simple to use. We use it for our clients, and the success rate is 100%. And people, they finish so happy they don't want to stop this. So, what can I share with you here below, just to finish this? We can implement this methodology in 3 ways. The first method is in person. You just ask for the other person to come with you and to look at the computer, at the game, and put the ear clip and play the game, as I showed you previously. The second way is a remote way in which you are in a localization and the other person is maybe in another city or in their house away from you. So you can show them how they can use the device, and then they send the data to the system and they get the results for that. Okay? And you can even guide them from your physical location. And the third methodology is virtual with audio instructions. So how does it work? This works in a very similar way that we're doing here. And we just sharing the precise instructions, you just follow them, but with no device. Okay, with no device. That is the only difference. Since you don't have the device, you cannot measure objectively. You can just have the sensation of how the other person is feeling. But when the other person is facing serious anxiety, serious stress, or serious depression, they do need the biofeedback system in order to measure the results, because they don't have still that self-awareness cultivated. So they need an external device to provide that external reference they need. And then when they get emotionally balanced, they can cultivate self-awareness. And then, yes, they can continue in the virtual mode. So this is how it works. And just 10 minutes per day, that's enough. With our protocol, you just perform only 5 weekly sessions with our biofeedback system, and that's all that needs to be done. So let me finish this. This is what happens after a sessions. In a person, we measured the baseline, I mean normal breathing pattern, for just 2 minutes. Then we breathe. She performed the breathing pattern at the resonant frequency with drummings, mantras, sound codes, sending love to a problem that needs to be solved. Something very similar to what you already felt here, to what we did already here. So what did we measure? We measured the state of peace, which is encoded in the HRV, heart rate variability. This is the number that encodes the state of peace. So what happens when we start to cultivate inner peace, when we start to do this, especially with these ancient tools? The state of peace encoded in the HRV increases from 52 to 86, right? Oh, sorry. And there is another parameter which is called low frequency over high frequency. This indicates the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system in comparison to the sympathetic nervous system. And as we see, it increases significantly in the latter case, which means that the parasympathetic nervous system, I mean the rest and digest mode, is more stimulated than the fight or flight response. Look what happened. In the latter case, she felt at peace and didn't want to finish the exercise. So this is something similar to what happened here to one of the people who already showed up here, right? So this is what happened. And you can see the results here. This is the technical report, or some results of the technical report of the person who is already performing this exercise. When she breathed at the baseline, we can see the heart rate does not follow any predefined pattern. As a consequence, the state of peace is in the red region, which is low coherence. And it says here, low coherence in 95% of all the results. When she performed heart coherence, I mean, let me check. Oh, let me check here. When she performed cardiac coherence, okay, for the latter case, look what happens. The heart rate, we see now, the heart rate goes up and down, up and down, up and down, in a very cyclic wave. This is a very harmonious wave. This is what in engineering we call a sine wave, most similar to a sine wave, right? Which is the most natural way we have, we can describe in engineering and in sciences in general. So this means that the person was already breathing at the resonance frequency, and that's why the heart rate goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, cyclically. And because of that, this variation of the heart rate, I mean the heart rate variability, was very, very high. That's why it is almost all of the time in the green zone. 85% of all the time was already in the green zone. And we also see that the energy concentration in the spectral mode, I mean, this is like a radio, right? We get in fine tune with our inner radio. We can say that. And when we get fine tune, we can get in tune very easily here. So we have a peak at 0.13 hertz. Many people are talking about, oh, what's the optimal frequency? What's the optimal frequency? This is the answer, 0.13 hertz. This is the optimal frequency for this person. Generally, we have the peak around 0.1 hertz. In some people is 0.13 hertz, some other people is 0.09 hertz. In any range within this green region. But it has to be a very, very, very defined peak. This is the most important thing. You can see when the person breathes normally, there is no peak here. There is no peak that is clearly visible. But here, when the person is in heart coherence, they have a peak. It means they are in coherence, in that coherence. So this is the good news that I told you previously. Anyone can be trained, and then once they learn the methodology, they can train others through our system. So to conclude, the influence of many external stimuli have led to greater emotional stability, especially in this era of massive distractions. So we need to cultivate good emotional management. In order to do that, conscious breathing is of paramount importance, and the cardiac coherence or heart coherence is the best option we know so far. There are different methodologies of heart coherence that have been extremely useful, and this one, which honors its origin of ancient tools, this is the one that works so far, is the best one. So far is the best one. Then I will show you in another moment why it is the best one. And of course it can work in person, in remotely, and also virtually without needing to use this device. But of course, the most efficient way to do this is by using this biofeedback device. And it is very simple, very easily to replicate. And another very, very important thing that you need to know is that we are starting a movement here. This is not just a technique. This is not just a methodology. This is not just something new that is already working. we are doing here a movement. We are performing here a movement, a worldwide movement of conscious people who want to get to a new level. But before getting to a new level, we have to cultivate emotional balance. Once we cultivate emotional balance, then we are ready to the next step, for the next step, which is get to a new conscious level of consciousness. This is a little bit about my background. Okay, I worked at the university. I worked as a scientific researcher, participated in projects, in congresses. I was research director for undergraduate students and also for reviewer of master and doctor of engineering thesis. I worked already in some kind of international events and wrote. I'm the co-author of many of 25 peer-reviewed papers. And the last thing is that we are already validating our system, our holistic system with scientific tools. This is the ultimate result, and you are the first one to know this. And once this is validated, this methodology will be even more spread, and that's why we are getting prepared to set the foundations for this and to start working with the right team. I'm here with my wife, Florencia Arce. She's a vet, wonderful person, an extremely wonderful person. And this is us in the waterfalls in a location that is called Anitapolis. It is a really, really extraordinary place. In these places, I love to be there because this is where I can cultivate inner peace. But we don't need a waterfall to do this. We can do this at any moment, even when we are driving. When I am driving, I decide to do this with open eyes. Then I can show you in another moment how it works. Okay? So this is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jess, Alejandra, and Christine for being here. Please feel free to ask any question. And most of all, what's your conclusion out of what we already shared here? Could you please write there, or would you like to speak up?
Fernando, muchas gracias. Muy, muy bonito todo. En este momento lo necesitaba y te doy muchas gracias por todo.
Muchas gracias, Alejandra. I appreciate this very much, what you said. And I just share with you in the group chat the audio of the practice for those who were not able to watch the replay. Doesn't matter, you can do the practice at your own pace, right? The important thing is to take care of ourselves. We all have 10 minutes for ourselves, right? We have to have time for everyone else, but now this is for ourselves. Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you, Christine. Thank you for saying that, and thank you, Jess. So I encourage you to do the following, and let me know if this is fine with you, Jess, Alejandra, and Christine. Could you please post a short video on our PhD Healers Network group or in our group chat, if you prefer, stating how you felt or what you learned after this practice? Is that fine with you all? Just to help other people who are just thinking about this, oh, is it going to work or not? Testimonials are very, very useful for this. What do you think about this? Is that fine? Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So if you can do that, Alejandra and Christine, I will be extremely, extremely, extremely happy. And tomorrow I will share more details about this, and even we can share, I will share a surprise. I don't want to tell anything else. I prefer to keep it as a surprise, just to for those people to create a little bit of expectation. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Tomorrow at the same time, we're going to have another short live. I think it will be shorter, 30 minutes. Okay. And if you have any question, feel free to ask in our group chat that we have here. And those who are watching from on social media, write in the comments below how you are feeling. And if you happen to want this recording that we share in high quality audio in WhatsApp, write a message below saying hard coherence, and I will add you to the group chat. Okay? Thank you, Jess, Alejandra, Christine, and thank you everyone else. Have a blessed rest of the day and see you tomorrow. Okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. See you.
You
Thank you,
too. Bye bye.
Fernando.
You
Bye.
too. Bye bye.